Hey everyone, I'm Michael Komasinski, CEO of Criteo. Super excited to be here with all of you today. I just joined Criteo 7 weeks ago, and here I find myself in Seoul in front of this great audience. I'm a lucky guy. We've got a great crowd here today, whether you're a retailer, a brand, or a marketplace, or even I think we've got some folks from a gaming platform. You are here to talk about the fastest growing segment in the media landscape today, and that is commerce media. And we're going to spend all afternoon sort of unpacking this space so that we can all work together to make sure that it realizes its full potential. I was fortunate to participate in this event when I was in Paris a few weeks ago, and I think more than any of the technical detail that we covered, the thing that I took away from that meeting was the privileged position that Criteo plays in leading this segment of the media landscape, this community, right? And you all are a part of that. We're all trying to figure out how to best use advertising, commerce media, how to satisfy consumer needs, and do that at a pace of change with AI and technology that's unprecedented. It's an exciting space to be in, and we're so happy to have this community of people to work together with. I thought I'd kick this off a little bit with a quote or an observation from the Walmart quarterly investor meeting that happened a few weeks ago. This was their CFO, John David Rainey, talked about how the profits from Walmart's advertising platform combined with membership and their marketplace revenue would be the fastest growing profit stream in the company, faster than merchandise sales. And the takeaway that I took from that is it shows the sort of business model impact that commerce media can have on a retailer. And here's the question. Are you a retailer that uses trade dollars to create shopper traffic? Or are you a commerce platform that uses trade dollars and advertising budgets to drive commerce touch media, sort of commerce purchases at every touch point that you have? There's a big difference between being a platform versus a brick and mortar retailer. I think it's a fascinating question that a lot of retailers are starting to ask themselves. And look, it's a fast growing space. E-marketers got this forecasted to be $261 billion by 2028, which would make it 25% of global advertising spend. And the question is, why does it grow? Why does it grow at that pace? Well, partially, it's trade dollars moving online, but it's also the acceleration of national and brand advertising budgets coming into retail as well. And then you'd ask yourself, why again? And it's because retail media is just a superior media inventory to some of the alternatives that are out there. It's brand safe, it's measurable, it's close to the point of purchase, and it just makes it a better investment when you're setting back as making a media plan, either as an agency or as a brand. A couple of stats to keep us grounded, right? Like, what is it that supports that growth? Well, it's the growth of commerce in general that really is the foundation, or it's what created the inflection point for the commerce media opportunity to accelerate. And if you think about the 8 trillion stat up there from eMarketer as well, 8 trillion in global commerce sales is 2 times the global auto industry, 3 times the global entertainment industry, and 5 times as large as the global pharmaceutical industry, right? And so you start to get a sense of the scale and growth that really is what underpins the commerce media opportunity. The other stats sort of like give it context as well. 30 trillion in global annual retail sales, that's bigger than the GDP of the United States. And more importantly, 50% of those transactions involving some kind of a mobile device or interaction, right? Which is a really good setup to the next slide, which is that the commerce or the consumer journey is changing at a rapid clip. Our shopper journeys, if you even just analyze your own behavior, right, sometimes are elongated with consideration and research, sometimes might happen in a moment, right? Where you're watching a TikTok video, you go out to TikTok shop, and you might complete a transaction in under a minute from sort of discovery, inspiration to transaction. And we sort of have all points in between. And again, I think you would ask the question, why? Why is the customer journey increasingly complicated? Why? And it's because technology enables sort of that speed to move at whatever pace you're ready to move as a consumer. And as a marketer, you want to take advantage of that because, again, you want brand safe, effective, measurable interactions where you can get to sales and transactions as quickly as possible, right? That's a sort of nirvana for a marketer. The sum up there would be that every moment can be a commerce moment because today we don't go shopping, we're always shopping. And consumers have high expectations that need to be met. And traditional advertising frameworks, like sort of funnel concepts and audience insights that drive reach and frequency-based media plans, don't really perform as well in today's environment. But there are some things that hold this opportunity back. And again, this is where I think we as a community need to partner together to solve some of these things. When I was at Dentsu, advising some of the world's largest advertisers, like Kraft, Heineken, Procter & Gamble, whenever we would have a top-to-top meeting and talk about commerce media, these three issues were at the top of the list every single time, right? And it was that the mechanisms, the buying mechanisms around commerce media are inefficient. Takes too many resources, it's hard to keep campaigns aligned, I have to do a lot of data integration. The KPIs are varied, right? One retail partner might focus on clicks, another on conversions, another wants to measure on ROAS. As a marketer, that makes it very difficult to optimize campaigns and do efficient budget allocation. In fact, it makes it impossible. And then lastly, signal changes, right? Lots been written about third-party cookie deprecation, Google's privacy sandbox, right? Without that third-party signal, right, as a marketer, it's hard for me to track cross-channel behavior and make sure that I understand how to optimize campaigns effectively. So these are some of the things that we are grappling with as a community. Well, Criteo is trying to solve some of these things, right? So we can't do it ourselves. It takes a whole community to do this. But for our part, these are some of the things that we're doing against those challenges. So we will continue to embed AI into our buying platforms to make activation smarter and easier. My colleague Todd Parsons is going to get up a little bit later. I think he's going to mention Commerce Go, which the point of that would be it's one of our self-serve tools that will come to market later this year. And the idea behind it was to get to campaign setup in less than 5 clicks, right? So it starts to demonstrate how we think about efficiency in a workflow and getting to campaigns as quickly and effortlessly as possible. On measurement, we are working with the IAB, and last year received MRC accreditation for our new display and on-site sponsored product ads for the way that we go to market with that. So now there's an industry standard for how those types of impressions should be measured and calculated, and we embed that into our enterprise platforms, Commerce Max and Commerce Yield. And then lastly, we are, I think, one of the industry leaders when it comes to interoperable addressability. And this is pioneering some of the methodologies for defining addressability away from sort of old deterministic identity-based models and taking that into sort of more probabilistic signals that we can process, like cart activity, shopping behavior, the insights we can get from our publishing partners, and all to do that in more of a privacy-safe way while still maintaining that effectiveness to measure cross-channel campaign performance. So we all know that AI is one of the most powerful forces in the industry today, but it's not just enhancing advertising. It fundamentally reshapes how people discover and purchase products. Remember back to the slide a couple slides back where we talked about the consumer journey changing. We're going to continue to see proliferation of AI in the commerce space with the experience for consumers having more sort of AI-powered recommendations, virtual shopping assistants, try-on features, the payment systems will become more frictionless. That creates better experiences for consumers by introducing them to products that they really need and love. And for marketers, It gives us an opportunity to drive better outcomes like higher ROAS, driven by better performance and the efficient workflows that we talked about. And so we're not just using data and AI to enhance short-term performance. We're using it to break down the silos between retail media and performance media so we can drive full funnel goals for our clients across all of their campaigns. And on that, we talk about the convergence of retail media and performance media. These have traditionally operated in silos, but consumers don't shop in silos. The smartest brands are starting to bridge this gap, right? Taking the precision of retail media with the scale and efficiency of performance media, because we're not only connected with retailers, we want to understand sales and outcomes off-site. So we're directly connected to publishers to better understand all types of outcomes across non-retailer activity. And this helps us understand audiences for specific products and SKUs, rather than starting with those audience-based insights that I was talking about earlier, and then just retrofitting our clients' products and SKUs into those audience. At the end of the day, our clients, as a marketer, right, you're there to sell SKUs and products, right? That's what drives sales. And the shift really means more relevant, high-performing campaigns with clearer measurement, really to drive real business outcomes. And so we talk a little bit about the flywheel inside of Criteo and the flywheel that we're trying to create really across this community. And so how does this work? Well, look, we all know that businesses scale off the back of data and audiences, right? So as a retailer, if I can drive more site traffic to your properties, right, then you can build up more purchase data, which helps you create better audience insights, which in turn can be reinvested back into the way that we acquire and drive customers to site. But if you're also then a retail media network, right, think about the amplification that that then creates, right? That shopper traffic unlocks additional inventory that I can monetize with brands that I'm already partnering with today, typically through joint business plans. And I can now accelerate that because brands want to invest in those sort of environments where they know consumers already have a high propensity to shop. And so really, the more audience that we can create, the more revenue it creates for retailers, the more sales it drives for brands, and frankly, consumers win in this as well because they're there at the point of purchase to make an informed decision. And with the data that we acquire through this flywheel, we're able to serve them up sponsored product ads that are more relevant to exactly what they're looking for in that moment in time. And so, look, in a world of complexity, we've got rising consumer expectations, fragmented channels. We're not here to create more noise, right? We're here to solve solutions and make things simple. And that's why we're focused on breaking down silos to fight fragmentation, increase the automation of our products and the way that clients use them. We're helping to push the commerce media space forward with AI-driven automation, standardization, cohesive measurement that we talked about, and interoperability so that our solutions work across the entire ecosystem. And ultimately, we want to continue to be a partner for all of you that makes campaigns more seamless, makes your advertising work smarter. And so this is our invitation to you as our community, an invitation to shape the future. Your leadership in this space will help us define how commerce media evolves, right? Your feedback on our products, how to tackle some of these issues that I've teed up here today. So please do challenge us, right? And my commitment to you would be that Criteo will be transparent about how we're tackling these challenges from our perspective, and that we'll continue to make the right investments, both in the industry standards and our tool set to make this segment of the media landscape reach its full potential, which is really, I think, what we're all trying to do. So with that, I'm going to wrap things up and just say a big thank you. It's a real privilege to be a part of this community and to lead a company that's at the forefront of the largest and fastest growing segment of the media landscape. And you're going to have a great afternoon with some really thoughtful speakers. So have a great meeting, and thanks for the time. Cheers.